So our concept is, we are saying that Java is object oriented programming language, right? We are saying that
Hmm.
Java is object oriented programming language. So if you are saying that Java is object oriented program, any programming language is object oriented, it should satisfy the following object oriented principles. Okay, not only like Java, either it may be a .NET or PHP, anything. If you are saying that anything is, any programming language is object oriented, it should satisfy the following OOPS principles.
Oops.
Even, yeah, even for Java also, here we are having some object oriented principles. So we need to know here what are the object oriented principles we are having. What are the object oriented principles? Basically, you need to remember only three things. Okay, so everybody will be saying that only three object oriented principles. Those are, first one is inheritance.
Okay.
Inheritance. Second one is
Polymerase.
polymorphism, and the third one is encapsulation. Only we are having three things. Okay, and everyone
No
will be saying
abstraction.
no abstraction. It is not an object oriented principle. It is a different concept. Object oriented principle means you should get into your mind only these three things: inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Okay. Now,
Okay.
first is,
Encapsulation.
yeah, sorry, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation. No abstraction concept in object oriented principle.
Okay. I read a
So
book on abstraction.
yeah, and one more thing actually, we need to go to the concept like access modifiers. But before going to access modifiers concept, we need to know about inheritance. That's why after the completion of inheritance concept, we'll go for access modifiers. Okay, fine. Now, basically, now we'll start our session with inheritance. Now, observe here. Inheritance means what? Taking the data from one class to another class. Okay, we are going to inherit that.
Inheriting that.
We are going to inherit the data from superclass to subclass. Okay, don't say
Only
like
that data, the features,
data,
or anything.
whatever the data we are giving like variables and methods, we are going to
Okay.
extend the data from one class to another class, means from superclass to subclass. Okay,
Yeah.
the advantage of inheritance is what here? Reusability. Means once if we write the code again, we can reuse the same code again and again. Okay, here,
Yeah.
so extending the data from where? Extending the data means here variables and methods. Okay, extending the
Okay.
data, here data means what? Variables and methods. Okay, and the thing is here, from superclass to subclass, from superclass to subclass. Okay, now here the thing is, we are going to use what? Extends keyword to read the data from superclass to subclass. We are going to use extends keyword. Now, what is the advantage of inheritance? Mainly, write down here. The basic advantages are, advantages of inheritance. The advantage of inheritance is what? Reusability.
Reusing.
The advantage of inheritance is reusability. So that we can save time and memory, right? We can save time and we can save memory also. Again, no need to write the same code again and again. Okay, these are the advantages of inheritance. But we need to know we are having some types of inheritance. Okay, we are having some different types of inheritance, and some inheritance is not possible in Java. Those things we are going to discuss now. Okay, types of inheritance. Write down here, types of inheritance. Totally, we are having five types of inheritance in Java. Totally, how many types of inheritance we are having? Five types.
Five times.
What are the five types of inheritance we are having in Java? First one is single inheritance. Second one is multiple. Next one is multi-level, and next one is hierarchical, and the last one is hybrid inheritance. Totally, we are having how many types of inheritance? Five types:
Five times.
single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid inheritance. So, when it comes to single inheritance, there will be only one superclass and one subclass. Okay, just we are only one superclass and only one subclass. For example, if you take a class called demo1, demo2, just we are going to inherit the data from demo1 to demo2. There will be no other classes, only one superclass and one subclass. Okay, I explain you here with an example. So see here, single inheritance. Single means just let us take a class called A, open parenthesis and closing parenthesis. Just I am explaining you here syntax. Then again we'll go with an example. Okay. Now
Yeah.
let us take a class called A. If you want to inherit the data, class B extends
Excellent.
class
Class
B.
A.
No need to take class again. Just B extends A. Class B
Continue.
extends A. Whatever the properties we are having in A class, automatically we are going to get into B class. Okay. Here the properties means variables and methods. Okay.
Yeah.
We are going to get the properties. Here the properties means what? Variables and methods of the superclass to subclass. Now this is about single inheritance. Now second one is multiple inheritance. Second one is multiple inheritance.
Multi.
Observe here, we are going to inherit the data from multiple superclasses and one subclass. Okay, right down here, and we are having lot of consequences here. But when it comes to single inheritance, one superclass and one subclass. Simple thing, right?
Right.
One superclass and
Multi.
one subclass. When it comes to multiple inheritance, multiple superclasses and one subclass. Okay,
On.
okay, more than one superclass. But here there is an issue. Write down one important point here. You need to understand this one. Java
Hmm.
does not support
Multiple.
multiple inheritance. You should not say Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. You should say that Java doesn't support multiple inheritance using classes. Using classes it won't support. Write down this point also. Later we are going to discuss. Java supports multiple inheritance using interface concept. Okay, these things we are going to discuss later about interface concept. Okay, now here first I'll explain you the example of multiple inheritance, then I'll explain you why Java doesn't support multiple inheritance using classes. Okay, so once if you are good with this theory part, practical concept is will be very easy. Okay, just same example I'm going to take here. Syntax, just let us take a class called A, right? I'm taking a class called B, right? Now here I'm going to take class test extends A comma B. So this is multiple inheritance, right?
Yeah.
Any doubt here?
Mm.
We are extending the data from multiple superclasses. But what I
Okay.
say,
There are two super classes, so this test is a one subclass.
only one subclass. But what I said,
Okay.
Java doesn't support multiple inheritance using classes. I'm saying,
Right.
right? But we need to know why Java doesn't support multiple inheritance using classes, right? Assume
Hmm.
that, assume that in A class we are having a method called show. Here I'm performing some functionality, or else here I'm going to print system some functionality I'm having. Assume here, okay? Or else just system dot out dot println of system dot out dot println of I. Okay. Assume that in B also, I'm having same show method. In B also I'm having same show method. Now here I'm going to take system dot out dot println of, here I'm going to take hello. I can create like this, right? In A class, I'm creating show method with some functionality. In B class also, I'm creating the same show method with some different functionality. Okay. Now, see here, in test extends A comma B, here assume that we are having main method. Okay. In this main method, I'm creating an object for our test class. Test T is equal to new test. Like this only we are going to create object, right?
Hmm.
Now here I'm going to call T dot show method. Here I'm calling what? T dot show method. See here, whenever we are calling show method, JVM cannot understand which method is going to be called. Why? Because we are calling what? A class method and B class method at a time we are calling. That means what? A class show method is there, B class show method is there. Which method need to be executed here? Right? Here we are getting the problem of ambiguity. Here we get the problem of what? Ambiguity. JVM cannot
Hmm.
understand which method need to be executed. That's why Java people has eliminated multiple inheritance using classes. This is what the reason. Okay. In the two super classes, if you have the same method, in subclass if you are trying to call, JVM cannot understand which method need to be executed. That's why Java people has eliminated multiple inheritance using classes. Understood the issue behind multiple inheritance?
Yeah.
Now, next one is multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means single inheritance, right? One superclass and one subclass.
Hmm.
Class B extends A. Open parenthesis and closing parenthesis, right? Here A is the superclass, B is the subclass. Again, B can act as a superclass to other classes. Class C extends B. Like this also we can do. So whenever
So
we are
it's a extension.
just like tree, okay? B is extending A. Again, C is extending B means whatever the data we are having in A and B, automatically already we are getting A class data into B, right? Whenever we are extending C extends B, automatically we are getting the data from A and B here. Clear? This is about multi-level inheritance. Any doubts? Just what I am doing here, A class data we are getting into B, B class data we are getting into C. This is about multi-level inheritance.
Okay. Like it's like a chain.
Yeah, it's just like chain.
So if, we can call from outside if we got you can call C, B or A.
Anything you
Uh,
can call it based on your requirement. For example, if you want to call all the A, B and C data, just directly we can use, again we can use like this. D can extends C also. For example, if you want to get the data of A, B and C and D, directly we can create object of D and we can call the data,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
This is about multi-level inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance means once if you write the data n number of times we can reuse the same data again and again. It is the reverse of multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, one superclass, multiple subclasses, right? In
Yeah.
hierarchical inheritance, one superclass, multiple subclasses. Once if you write the code, any number of times we can reuse the same code again and again. This is about hierarchical inheritance. For example, if you take class A, for example, if you take class A, class B can extend A, class B can extend A. Again, even class A also can extend A. Anyone can use the same data again and again. Once if you write the code, we can reuse the same code again and again. This is about hierarchical inheritance. Clear? Any number of times we can reuse the same code again and again. This is about hierarchical inheritance.
But what is the difference between multi and hybrid? Even multi also we are extending, keep on extending.
Multi-level. See
No,
here.
multiple,
Multiple or multi-level you are asking?
multiple, the previous one.
Multiple means we are reading the data from multiple superclasses. It is not possible in Java, right? Here If you have any specific requirement, we can reuse the data. Again, if there is the same requirement, again we can create the data. Multiple inheritance is not possible, right? In multiple inheritance, we are going to read the data from multiple superclasses at a time. Here we are reading at a time only one class we are inheriting. Observe the difference here. In multiple inheritance, we are having multiple superclasses and only one subclass.
Okay.
Here only one superclass. Means if you are example again, if you have specific requirement, if you want the same function, if you want the functionality of A, just you can extend say. Again somewhere you have requirement. Again we can read the data. Okay. N number of times we can reuse the same code again and again. Just it is the reverse of multiple inheritance. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance also you need to remember one point here. Hybrid inheritance means it is a combination of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. Write down this point. I'll explain you. It is a combination of multiple inheritance and hierarchical it is a combination of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. Okay. Now see here. What is this example? We are inheriting the data from multiple superclasses A and B. C is extending A comma B. Right?
Right.
It is an example of multiple inheritance. Again, this C class data can extend D and E also. See here, what does it first? What does it mean? It is a multiple
B is
inheritance.
extension of A and B, but C has two more extensions.
Yeah, two more extensions. See here, this is what multiple inheritance, and
Hmm.
this one is what hierarchical inheritance. Right?
Okay.
Hierarchy means here again D is extending C and E also extending C. But you need to remember one point here. Since Java doesn't support multiple inheritance using classes, hybrid
Classes.
inheritance using classes it won't support, right?
Right.
Similarly, since Java doesn't support multiple inheritance using classes, hybrid inheritance also doesn't support using classes. Why? Because it is a combination of multiple, right? That's why.
Right.
That's why hybrid inheritance also doesn't works using classes. Right down here. That point. Multiple, since multiple inheritance is not possible using classes, hybrid inheritance also not possible using classes. Clear? Any doubts? Shall we go with an example now?
Yeah, please.
Fine. Now, so for the purpose of inheritance, I am going to create a new package. Right click on SRC, new package,
Into.
com dot madhu dot inheritance. Now, see here, right click on your package, new class. New class. Here I am going to create a class called sample1. Okay. Inside this class, observe the example here. I am creating one variable int a is equal to 12, right? And here I am going to create one method void show. Void show. Here I want to print something. System.out.println of system.out.println of. I am going to print something like here is an example of. Here is an example of single inheritance. Observe how I am going to write the code. Okay. Just I have taken one variable and I have created one method here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want to inherit this data into another class. What I'm going to do? I'm going to create another class here. Right click on package, new class. Here I'm going to create a class called sample2. Okay. Here sample2 that class needs the data of sample1. I want to inherit the data from sample1 here. So what I want to do? Sample2 extends
That's what.
sample1. Sorry. What does it mean? Whatever the data we are having in sample1 class, we need to get into sample2.
So here sample one is a super class, sample two is a subclass.
Exactly. Okay. Here I am going to create another method in sample2 class. Here I am creating some another method with some different functionality. Okay. Here I am going to take. I want to print something like in display method. If you call Java doesn't support, just I want to print something. Whenever I am calling this display method, automatically it need to be printed. Okay. Java doesn't support,
Built-in classes.
and if anyone asks you does Java supports multiple inheritance, means you need to say yes. Okay. Java supports multiple inheritance, but using interfaces, but not using classes. You need to say. Most of the people will say that Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. That is the wrong answer. Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. Only using classes it won't support. But using
Right.
interface, it will support. Only by using classes it won't support. Okay,
Hmm.
clear? Now observe here. Now and one more thing. For all the core Java examples, whenever you are creating a main method, create a separate class for the purpose of main method. Within the same class, you don't create. Okay. So in real-time environment, whenever you are for the purpose of main method, there will be a separate class in order to reduce the confusion. Okay. In the same class itself, if you create main method, there will be somewhat confusion, right? Just what I will do is just first I'll save this one. What I'm doing, observe here. In the same package, I'm going to create a class. Here I'm creating a class called test. In this test class, here I'm creating a main method. In this test class, what I'm doing here I'm creating a main method. So for the purpose of main method, I'm creating test class. For each and every concept, for the purpose of main method, I will be creating a separate class. Observe this one. Okay. Even in sample2 class also, you can create main method. Just to reduce the confusion, I will be creating a separate class for the purpose of main method. Okay. Now, inside this main method, I am going to create object for our sample2 class. How to create object? Class name, some reference variable is equal to new class name. And one
Right.
more thing, whenever you are creating an object, give the fully qualified class name. It should be somewhat even object name also should be meaningful. Why? After seeing this object name, automatically you should know the class name. For example, if you take sample2 s is equal to new sample2, again we are having sample10 s is equal to new sample10. After seeing that object name, can you say the class name? You cannot say, right? So
Right.
even object name also should be very meaningful. Okay, save it. Now see here, sample2 dot display method I'm calling, and we can call sample2 dot show method also. But show method is in which class actually? Actually it is in sample one class. But here automatically we are getting into sample2. We are inheriting, right? So that we can
Right.
call now by using sample2 object, right? Even we can
Right.
call, you can call that one also a value. A value also is now in sample2 class. Just we can take a value is plus sample2 dot a. Save it. You can call like this. Okay, now if you run this sample, everything is executed. See, what you need to understand here is Java program execution starts from where? Java program execution starts from main method. So here in this main method, what we are having sample2 is equal to new sample2. In the first line, what we are having here sample2 dot display. JVM understands that we are having a method called display in sample2 class. that method need to be executed. Just go to the it goes to the display method, and whatever the functionality we are having inside this method, that logic is going to be executed. Clear?
Yeah.
Similarly, line by line again, it goes to the show method. First it checks in sample 2, it is not there, but we are inheriting, right? Automatically it goes to the superclass and it is going to get the output. Okay, see here. Automatically it goes to the sample 1 class. Similarly, this one also sample2 dot here. This is an example of single inheritance. Okay, so clear, right? For the purpose of main method, I am creating one separate class here. Don't get confused. So you need to practice like this only in an easy way. Okay. Any doubts?
Mm, I'm just trying to understand that.
Okay, just one.
I'm just trying to sample to display words.
Now, our second one is what? Multiple inheritance, right? See here, if you are
Mm.
trying to inherit the data from multiple classes, just if you put comma only, here you will be getting an exception. Okay, why? Because Java supports at a time only we can inherit one class, cannot inherit any other class at a time. Okay, that's why we are getting an issue. Here itself it is no, it is showing right. We cannot inherit multiple inheritance with classes. Clear?
Yeah.
Now here I'll explain you the example of multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means what? Here sample 2 is extending sample 1, right? Again I'm going to take one more class, and that class is going to extend this sample 2 data. Just see here, new class sample 3, click on finish. See here,
Extends
extends
to
sample 2. Save it. Now here I'm going to take one method called like void hello. I'm creating some method. Here I want to print something. System dot out dot println of. This is an example of this is an example of multi-level inheritance. Okay. So observe here now. Whenever we are extending sample 3, extend sample 2 means the data of sample 1 and sample 2 we are getting into sample 3. Why? Because already sample 2 class contains sample 1 data, right?
mm.
So whenever we are extending sample 3, extending sample 2 means the data in sample 1 and sample 2 everything we are getting into the sample 3 class. See here in this test class, present I'm going to keep this code in comments. If you want to keep the code in comments, just select the code, control shift backslash. It will be in comments.
Comments.
Okay. Now in this test class, inside the main method, I'm going to create an object for our sample 3 class. Sample 3 space sample 3 is equal to new sample 3. Okay. Now here sample 3 dot show method, sample 3 dot display method we can call, sample 3 dot hello method also we can call. Save it and we can run it. The program execution starts from main method. Here first we are calling show method. Show method is going to be executed, and then display method, and then hello method. Clear?
Yeah.
Any doubts?
No.
This is an example of multi-level. Means sample 1 data we are getting into sample 2. Again sample 2 data we are getting into sample 3. Okay. Now I'll explain you the concept of hierarchical inheritance. Hierarchical inheritance means what? Once if you write the logic, any number of times we can reuse the logic again and again. See here, sample 2 is extending sample 1, right? Sample 3 is extend again. I'm going to create another class, and again I'm going to inherit the sample 1 class. See here, right click on your package, new class sample 4, new class sample 4. Now here again I'm going to inherit the data from sample 1. Means once if I write the class, any number of times we can reuse the same code again and again. Here for example, void some show 1 I'm going to take here. some method I'm going to create show one. Now here I'm going to print. This is an example of hierarchical inheritance. This is an example of hierarchical inheritance. Save it. Now see here inside the test class, just I'm going to keep for this particular period of time I'm going to keep different comments. Okay, now inside the main method I'm going to create object for our sample4 class. Sample4 space sample4 is equal to new sample4. Now we can call sample4.show method we can call, and we can call sample4.show1 also we can call. Now if you run this example, the two lines is going to be executed, right? See here, sample2 is extending sample1 data, again sample4 is also extending sample1 data. Means once if you create a class any number of times we can inherit the class. That's what I want to say here. Understood about hierarchical inheritance? Try to understand this one once. Write down. Our next concept is access modifiers. Our next concept is access modifiers. So access modifiers means we are giving the scope. What is the scope of variables and methods in a particular class? Okay. So basically, similar to access specifiers in C++, in Java we are having a concept called access modifiers. So when it comes to Java, basically we are having four access modifiers. Basically we have what? Four access modifiers.
Or
What are those? First one is private, second one is default, third one is protected, and the last one is public. Totally we are having four access modifiers: private, default, protected, and public. So mostly we are going to apply these modifiers for variables and methods. We are going to apply these modifiers for what? Variables and methods. Now you need to know the scope. Okay, you need to know the scope. First we'll go for the theory part, then we'll go with an example again, similar to inheritance. Okay. Once if you apply private modifier for variables or methods, that accessibility only within the class. Okay.
within the class.
Within the outside the class also we cannot access, even though it is maybe inheritance or if you create object, whatever it may be, you cannot use outside the class. Okay. Write down here. Accessibility only within the class. Accessibility only within the class. Okay. Outside the class we cannot access.
Like get method and all, we call it from outside. We don't have any.
That is a different concept, that is we'll discuss in encapsulation. Okay. Just here I'm not using any getters or other thing. Just if you apply private modifier for anything, those particular things we cannot access outside the class. What you said is correct. That setters and getters methods concept we will be getting in encapsulation concept of object oriented principles. Okay. Fine. Here accessibility only within the class, outside the class we cannot access. Outside the class we cannot access those properties. Okay. Now default modifier. If you don't give any modifier, by default it will take it as default modifier. Every day we are going to create some variables and methods, right? We are not giving any particular modifier. Like for example, you are taking int a is equal to 12. We are not giving any modifier, right? Or for example, we are creating some methods like void show, void display. We are not giving any modifier. If you don't give any modifier, by default, it's a default modifier. If you apply default modifier, that accessibility will be within the class and outside the class also, but only within the same package. Okay.
If you don't give it by default, system will give it as a default.
Yeah, by default it will take it as default modifier. Okay.
Yeah.
So for default modifier, the accessibility is accessibility within the class, accessibility within the class and outside the class. Accessibility within the class and outside the class, but the limitation is but only within the same package. What you need to remember here, within the same package only we can use. Okay,
Right.
clear? Any doubts? No.
Yeah.
Protected modifier. If you apply protected modifier, accessibility will be within the package and outside the package also. But compulsory we must use inheritance. Without using inheritance, we cannot access. Okay.
Right.
But write down here accessibility within the package and outside the package also. But compulsory we must use inheritance. If you don't use inheritance, it won't. We cannot access outside the package. Okay. Compulsory we must use inheritance
Yeah. From outside access only, this inheritance is required, right?
outside the package. If it is inside the package, no issues. If you
No
want to
issue.
use outside the package, compulsory we must use inheritance, and it should be protected modifier only. If it is
Right.
a default, again we cannot access outside the package. Okay, if it is protected modifier, then only we can access outside the package. But compulsory we must use inheritance. Okay. Now, public means there is no restrictions. Anywhere we can access without any restrictions. Anywhere we can access without any restrictions. These are the access modifiers we are having in Java. Now we'll go with an example. Completed writing or you are writing?
I'm writing. Yeah. Last line.
Fine, fine. Write down. Once it is completed, then we'll go with an example. Observe the example now. So, again, for the purpose of access modifier concept, I am going to create a new package. Okay. Now, observe the example. Even you need to practice similarly like this only. Okay. For each and every concept, create a separate package. Then you will get idea on each and every concept very clearly. Even in future, if you have any doubts, directly you can go through that concept and you can see the examples. Okay. That's why I'll follow this approach. Even when you are practicing, follow the same approach. Okay. Fine. Now observe here, I'm going to create a new package for the purpose of access modifiers. Right click, new package, com dot madhu dot access modifier.
Modifier.
Click on finish. Now here I'm creating a class, new class. I'm creating a class called sample1. Okay. Now see here, inside this class, I'm creating some private data. Okay. Private int. Observe the example carefully. Int a is equal to 12. Don't write anything. First listen the example. Okay. Just I'm creating here one private variable and one private method. Okay.
Method.
Here I'm printing something like system.println of private data cannot be accessed outside the class. Okay. Now save it. Just I have created one private variable and private method. Now here I'm creating a main method. Inside this main method, I'm creating an object for our class sample1 space sample1 is equal to new sample1. Okay. Just we are creating an object for our sample1 class. Here system.out.println of within the same class I am accessing here. There is no issue, right? In the same class, right? This one sample1 dot a, that is an instance variable I am calling by using an object. Now sample1 dot sorry sample1 dot show. Save it and run the sample. Successfully it is going to be executed. Clear? Any doubts in this example?
sample one dot sample equal to sample one. Internal value is okay.
Whatever the value I have given, that one I am printing, and the show method I am calling. If I execute, those values are printing. Why? Because Java program execution starts from main method, right? That logic we are executing here successfully. Nothing more than that. That is a private data we are accessing within the same class. That's it, right?
I'm trying to understand like sample one dot a you said, right? So int the variable name itself is called, right?
We are calling by using object. That is an instance variable, right? Instance
Right.
variable we need to call by using an object. Okay, clear?
Yeah, got.
Fine. Now see here. Sorry, I'm going to create a new class. Right click, new class. I'm creating a
Two.
class called sample2. Sample2 extends sample1. What does it mean? Whatever the data we are having in sample1, we need to get into sample2, right?
Two. Right.
Inside this class, I'm creating a main method. I'm not creating anything. Okay. Now here, I'm creating an object for sample2 class. Sorry, sample2 is sample2 is equal to
New sample. Two.
new sample2.
Sample.
Okay, new sample2. Fine. Now here I'm going to print sample2 dot a. I want to print a value. Sample2 dot show. Why we are getting an error here? They are inheriting, right? But why we are getting this issue? Why? Because the data is what? Private data. Private data can be accessed
Right.
within the class.
Within the class.
Within the class only we can access. We cannot access outside the class, right? But
Right.
if you want to access outside the class, what we need to do?
Distance.
We need to make it as default. So
Default. Okay.
if you don't give any modifier, by default it will take it as what? Default modifier, right? Now these two are what? We have applied default modifier. See here, automatically the error has gone, and if you run this successfully, it is going to be executed. Clear? This is about default modifier. Default modifier we can access within the class and outside the class also. It is accessing
Right.
successfully. Okay. Till now it is clear, right?
Yeah.
Now observe here. I am going to create a new package. Right click, new. Sorry. Create a new package. Right click on src, new package, com dot, and one more thing. What you did mistake in your program is in package you are giving some uppercase letters. Don't give those things. Okay.
Right.
You should not give even a single uppercase letter also. Everything should be lowercase letter.
Okay.
Access modifiers 1. See here, that is access modifier, that is access modifiers 1. Finish. Okay. In this package, I am creating a new class. New class. Here I am creating a class called sample3. Okay. This is another package. Extends. I am going to inherit the data from sample1. Okay. See here, whenever we are inheriting this data from sample1, automatically that package is going to be imported. That is a different package, right? Automatically that package will be imported in Eclipse. Eclipse will take care of all these things. We don't need to write. If you are working with Notepad, we need to type all these things. But here, Eclipse will generate. No issues. Okay. Clear, right? No issues till now.
Yeah, I'm understanding. Trying to understand.
Yeah. Just what I'm doing, I have created a new package. Inside the
Hmm.
package, I have created another class sample3, and I'm trying to inherit the data from sample1. Sample1 is
Right.
from different package. That's why it is imported here.
Okay.
Now, in sample3 class, I have created a main method. Now here, sample3, I'm creating an object for sample3 class. Sample3 space sample3 is equal to
Use.
new sample3. System dot out of println of sample3 dot a. Okay, sample3 dot show. Why we are getting an error? From where we are inheriting? From sample1, right?
One, yeah, it might be provided there.
It is a default data.
Default,
Default
okay.
data we can access within the package, but outside the package we cannot access. But we are
Okay,
trying, but we are trying to use outside the package, right?
right.
So
No,
what we need to do? We cannot access. In the place of default, what we need to give here? Protected we need to give. Protected we can access outside the package successfully. This can also give here protected. Save it. Okay, now see here. Automatically in another package also the error has gone. If you run this sample successfully, it is going to be executed. Clear, right?
though we import the package, still it is not.
What? No. Of course, it may be imported, but the data is what? But the data just we are creating the class. See here, class is importing. We may have some another modifier data, right? Another scope will be there that you are trying to we are trying to call the default data. That's why we are getting issue. We may get some public data that data can be used directly, right? Whenever you are calling some class, automatically that package is going to be imported. It won't bother about the properties. It bother about the class. It is a class from another package. That's why it is importing. Okay. Of course, it may be imported, but scope is very important. That's what I want to say here. Okay.
Okay.
So if the data is protected, then successfully it is going to be accessed outside the outside the package also. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Now observe here. I'm going to create one more class called sample4. Right click, new class sample4. Here I'm not going to provide any inheritance or some other thing. Just I'm creating a main method here. In this main method, I'm going to create an object for our class. Okay, I want to use the data of sample1. See here, whenever I'm creating an object for automatically whenever we are calling sample1, that package is importing. Sample1 is equal to new sample1. Just I'm calling here sample1. Why we are getting an error here? That is what? Protected data, right? Protected
Mm,
data, compulsory we need to use inheritance concept. But here we are not using any inheritance, right? If you want to access directly without any restrictions, in the place of protected, what we need to give? Public modifier.
okay.
Clear? If you understand one thing, here I am increasing the scope from private to default, default to protected, protected to public. Did you observe those things?
Yes.
Private within the same class, default within the class and outside the class, but only within the
Okay.
same package. If you go for protected within the package and outside the package, but compulsory we must use inheritance. But
Right.
without any restrictions, if you want to access, just give public modifier. Save it.
Access everywhere.
It is going to access everywhere. This is about public modifier. Clear?
Yeah.
Fine. So do you want to this example?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, take that.